Most people are familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this day and age. They're a part of a plethora of popular media, from comic books to video games. The four turtles, with their trademark headbands and weapons, have taken fans all over the world on some amazing journeys along with them. There have been various iterations of the TMNT over the years, from children-friendly goofy animations to comic books that you wouldn't let your child touch with a 10-foot pole. The Turtles have been a part of many great stories, but have you heard of the time when one of them became Shredder? Yes, Shredder, their arch-nemesis, the Joker to their Batman. The story is a part of the third volume of Mirage Studios' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was published by Image Comics. A colored version of the series was republished by IDW Publishing in 2018, under the title Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends. In this marvelous video, we'll tell you the story about the time, which is not often spoken of, when Raphael became the Shredder, and went on to not only revive the Foot Clan, but also rule them. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How the story begins. The tale of how Raphael becomes the Shredder begins when he visits his old friends, Casey Jones and April, and finds out that their daughter's grandfather, boss Antonio Puzzarelli, wants to raise his granddaughter and is out to kidnap her. Lately, they notice that the mob has almost zeroed in on their location. The problem is that the mob surveillance team has been killed, and it's been done by ninjas. Raphael immediately decides to pay the Foot Clan a visit in order to get a grasp of the situation. You must be wondering why Raphael looks the way he does, and where the rest of the Ninja Turtles are. To find out, make sure to watch the video till the end, as we'll be giving you the answers to all of your questions during the course of the video. Quite clearly, he's been up to a lot, which is made even more evident in the next scene when he seems to be on good terms with the Foot Clan. The Foot Clan and Raphael have a truce in place, so as not to interfere with each other's lives. But the clan claims that this truce is resulting in the deterioration of their relationship with the mob, that, along with Raphael almost executing the mob boss Antonio Puzzarelli, and the Turtles rescuing his granddaughter from his clutches, has placed the ninjas and the mob's relationship with each other on thin ice. And some even taunt Raphael, saying that maybe they should give Puzzarelli his granddaughter back. Before the argument escalates, it's interrupted by an explosion. The mob has attacked the Foot Clan, and an all-out war has finally broken out between the two. The ruling council of the Foot is immediately gunned down, along with several other ninjas. As the gangsters look to clean up the place, and Raphael ends up getting cornered, he decides to take the fight to them. We find out that he's been working for and with the Foot Clan ever since the Shredder's death, and he considers the clan itself not evil. They even protect Cassidy and April's family when the Turtles are out of town. So to honor them, he decides to take the mob on alone. As he begins to even the score, taking down one mobster after another, he begins to realize he's outnumbered. With his back quite literally against the wall, he decides to make one final stand and take as many of his foes out as he can with him. Raphael discovers the Shredder's armory. As Raphael leans back, the wall reveals a trapdoor and he falls in. What he sees almost gives him a heart attack. He notices the visage of his old enemy, Shredder, breathing down his neck. It takes a moment for Raphael to realize it wasn't his nemesis that had returned from the grave, but simply his armor. He's somehow stumbled upon Shredder's furnace where he forges his armor, and we're given a look at a number of his different armors. As the gangsters try to figure out where Raphael has vanished to, they're attacked by Shredder instead. As they panic and make a dash for it, Raphael, who's now Shredder, starts hunting the gang members down one by one, slaughtering 52 of them, leaving only a single one standing. He tells the remaining goon to head back to his boss and warn him that Shredder will be visiting soon to end his life. The remainder of the ninjas, who'd been hiding up until now, show up to confront Raphael for masquerading as their former master. Raphael, however, chastises them for their lack of honor and cowardice, making the foot soldiers ask him to lead them as their new master. Instead of denying their request, Raphael finds himself agreeing and makes a dash for New York's West End, where Tony Puzzarelli lives. Teenage Mutant Ninja Shredder. The scene shifts to Puzzarelli's villa, where he isn't receiving the news of the death of his 52 henchmen very well. Upon being told it was Shredder's doing, he shoots the messenger in disbelief, stating that Shredder was dead. At this moment, Shredder appears in the room with his foot soldiers. Shocked by the sudden appearance of Shredder, Puzzarelli stumbles while his nephew lunges for a weapon to attack Raphael, refusing to believe that this is the real ninja master back from the dead. Raphael quickly stabs his hand, pinning it to the desk, and threatens to end his life. He tells the mob boss that he had come to end his life, but has decided to change his mind, as too many lives have been lost on both sides. He declares that the war has ended, and demands Puzzarelli to stop hounding his granddaughter if he wants the lives of him and all of those he loves to be spared. scared. We learn that the Foot Clan had originally been tasked to retrieve his granddaughter's shadow, but had failed to complete the task despite being paid. Raphael promises to compensate the gang. After telling him that all the ninjas responsible for the fiasco had already been killed in the shootout, he leaves with his followers, stating that he has a monumental task ahead to rebuild the Foot Clan. At the end of this scene, we get the sense that Raphael intends to follow his own path and is serious about becoming the new Shredder. A new challenger. Some time has passed and we're shown that Raphael has established himself as the new Shredder and the head honcho of the Foot Clan of New York. He's been trying to turn the Foot Clan into a force for good, but it hasn't been without challenges. The latest of which is Pimiko, a female ninja that the Turtles have already encountered in the past. Pimiko claims to be the daughter of the original Shredder, Orokusaki, and wants to take up her father's mantle. Flashback time! Time to get some backstory about what's been happening that has led up to this point in the story. Pimiko first met the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when she was still serving under Dragon Lord Komodo as his chief bodyguard. Komodo had tasked Pimiko, along with his cyborgs, to attack the Turtles in order to capture one of them along with Master Splinter, as he needed their blood to create a mutagen that would help him transform into a real dragon. The Ninja Turtles are bested when an injured Donatello and Master Splinter are captured by her and the cyborgs. This is when things start going crazy. Donatello, who's been captured by Pimiko, falls from a plane while attempting to escape and crash lands, breaking his shell, which leaves him paralyzed. He later bonds with the sentient armor of one of his fallen foes and is transformed into a cyborg. In the meantime, Master Splinter is injected with the mutagen that Komodo has created from his blood and grants him the ability to turn into a real dragon. The serum, however, turns Splinter from a rat to a rat with wings. We mean a bat. That too, a lunatic bat who considers all the Turtles to be demons. Yes, there's a lot of weird stuff happening, but we won't get too much into any of that, as our focus of this video is Raphael's stint as the Shredder. How Raphael got a facelift. While we're talking about crazy things, we might as well clear out why Raphael's face is disfigured, and the reason why he's wearing an eye patch. This happens in the very first issue of the Urban Legends, after their first meeting with Pimiko. The Turtles are contemplating their next course of action after Donatello and Splinter have been captured by their enemy. The three of them wish Donatello was still around, to use the cyborg that had been decapitated, in order to gain some information about their enemy. Raphael, being Raphael, decides to end the life of the cyborg by stabbing it, because despite not having its head attached to its body, the machine is still keeping its human host alive. Upon sensing danger to its host, the head starts sounding an alarm, and before anybody can react properly, the lifeless body of the cyborg activates in front of Raphael and transforms one of its arms into a plasma gun, blasting his face point blank. This results in his face being severely injured. If one tries to explain this series to anyone, not getting sidetracked is impossible, as there's just too much happening here at an absurd pace. Well, now at least you have answers to some of the questions that might have been popping up in your head as you watch this video. Kunoichi vs. Ninja, Battle for Supremacy. Coming back to the present, we have Pimiko, who wishes to challenge Raphael for the leadership of the Foot Clan and Shredder's title and armor. The duel is being sanctioned by the Japanese branch of the Foot Clan, who are here to oversee the battle. The battle begins as the two go at each other with skill and ferocity. Raphael draws first blood, but the moment is fleeting, as it's revealed that Pimiko's hair is a weapon as well. She uses it to wound Raphael and toss him into a wall. With victory now within her grasp, the Japanese ninjas ask her to finish off Raphael and earn her right to be the leader. As she raises her weapon to deal the final blow, Raphael kicks her on the leg, injuring it, and begins to mount his comeback. As he's far from done with the fight, he quickly uses this momentum to turn the tide of the fight and has Pimiko at his mercy. The Japanese foot ninjas demand the same of Raphael as they did of Pimiko. They ask him to kill her and claim his rightful place. Now, if the Japanese Foot Clan knew Raphael like we do, they would know better than to expect him to just roll over and follow their orders. In typical fashion, Raphael refuses to kill Pimiko and instead starts verbally lashing out against the foot ninjas from Japan, telling them that they had no authority over him, as he was the one who saved the Foot Clan and rebuilt it, and it was only his orders that mattered, and tells them politely to leave. Sarcasm. A series of betrayals. The Japanese foot members begin laughing at this and order the ninjas to kill him and Pimiko both. Barely has the dust settled, then our hero, or shall we say the new Shredder, is thrust into another battle, this time against his own friends and subordinates. Pimiko too has been betrayed by her followers. As the struggle rages and finding himself getting overwhelmed by sheer numbers, Raphael uses Pimiko's hair, which he had cut off, as a climbing rope to gain higher ground. He's met by Chang, a member of the Foot Clan, who calls out to him. Raphael tells us Chang is his best friend in the world, besides his own brothers. No sooner has Raphael climbed to the platform than he's knocked down by a low blow. Lady Luck seems to have really gone for a vacation because Raphael just cannot seem to catch a break, as it's revealed that his best friend has betrayed him as well. He tells Raphael that his loyalty has always stood with the Foot Clan, and introduces him to his replacement, a woman in Shredder's armor, whom he calls Lady Shredder. Bloodied and betrayed, Raphael taunts Pimiko, saying she wasted no time climbing into the armor. He asks her how her injured leg felt, taunting her, when a voice from behind his head speaks to answer his question. To his shock, Pimiko is standing behind him, leaving everyone with the question, who is Lady Shredder? On the other side of town, the Turtles have gathered with Splinter at Casey and April's house to celebrate their birthday. We find it's almost been a year since the time Raphael last worked together with them. Their birthday party is once again crashed by Pimiko, but this time she isn't here to fight. She's come to ask their help to rescue their brother. The Turtles fear a trap but follow her regardless. She leads them to where their brother is being held. Will the real Shredder please stand up? Final showdown. Once there, they witness Raphael tied up in chains on a rooftop, surrounded by the Foot members, Chang, and Lady Shredder. Claiming that Raphael knew too many clan secrets, she swings her blade to execute him. But before her stroke can fall, the rest of the Ninja Turtles, along with Pimiko, swoop down to the rescue. As they engage in combat, Donatello frees Raphael with the aid of his cyborg hands. Leonardo engages Lady Shredder, who claims to be saddened they don't recognize her, as she's someone they're familiar with. As she disarms him and the battle seems to be lost, Leonardo wounds her with the hidden blade attached to the cup on his arm. Yes, Leonardo has only one good arm. How? Well, that may be a topic for another day. On the other hand, Raphael begins battling Chang, his former best friend, who tells him that not only has he not been treating Master Splinter, instead he's also been siphoning his skills to make them his own. Soon, the rest of the gang joins Raphael, and finding himself outnumbered and his forces decimated, Chang throws a thermite bomb at the group, which is quickly launched into the sky by Donatello using his cyborg arm. The bomb turns out to be nothing but fireworks, but in the confusion, Lady Shredder and Chang have made their escape. As they discuss what's transpired and the identity of Lady Shredder, Michelangelo reminds Raphael that there's a birthday party to attend, his and their birthday, and the Foot Clan can wait another day. It all comes to an end as our heroes call it a day, and the tale that began initially with a disastrous birthday party now ends with a happy one, with all the Ninja Turtles reunited and Pimiko joining them this time around. Thus, the prodigal son returns home to his father and family, ending his stint as their arch-nemesis, Shredder. Marvelous verdict. In our opinion, to see a protagonist take on the mantle of their greatest foe was very interesting and a refreshing idea. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, published under the banner of Image Comics, and later on IDW Publishing, made a lot of interesting changes to our lovable characters. As we mentioned earlier, Don is a cyborg, Leo has only one arm with a retractable blade, Raph is disfigured, and well, he's Shredder, and Mikey seems to be the only one left untouched. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, to some Mirage comics, the original folks behind the Ninja Turtles have come out and declared the entire series to be non-canon, due to the lack of proper involvement by co-creator Peter Laird. To see some of your favorite characters so jarringly altered physically due to injury is somewhat disconcerting and hard to swallow. But the story itself is really well written. It gives us a brief look into what if Shredder, although not the original, and the Foot Clan were actually not bad guys. It's also fun to see Raphael, who's generally considered the bad boy of the group, finally come into his own by pursuing his ideals and leading his own group. Overall, if you haven't already read this comic, we suggest you give it a go. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. And if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone!